Okay, welcome, fellow Toastmasters, to Golden Speakers, Fairfield, Iowa, Toastmasters Club number 7515, as we have our July the 6th, Tuesday, July the 6th, regular meeting on Zoom. Our theme tonight is Summer Food Favorites. And as always, our mission tonight is to further develop our communication skills. The mission of every Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which each member has the opportunity to develop verbal communication and leadership skills, which in most cases leads to increased self-confidence and personal growth. Let's hear it for our mission. We have role players tonight who are going to help us run this meeting. The role players will begin by hearing from our counter Veda to tell us what he will be doing as counter. Take it away, Veda. Please.
Greetings, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow members. Tonight, I will be counting anything superfluous usage of sounds that don't belong or words that don't belong, such as those will be in one category, and then other filler words such as so, but, and repeating whatever you said. That will be my main role tonight, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you.
Art, I think
Yes,
I'm supposed to be
I have
introducing
neglected to
people.
recognize the Toastmaster of the evening, Donna,
Yeah, there you
and
go.
let her take this process away. So proceed, Donna.
Thank you. So we've introduced the counter. Now we have the timer to introduce herself, Jean.
Thank you. Actually, could you do the grammarian? Could you do the grammarian?
Grammarian?
Right now?
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm going by the list
Yeah.
here on the agenda.
It's okay. I just have to grab something.
Sure, okay.
Thank
so
you.
we'll have Alex talk about her role as a grammarian.
I'm so sorry for the noise. my washer is making like a very loud noise, but I hope that this doesn't affect the meeting. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take notes of any improper language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, saying, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is my duty to introduce the word of the day. And for today's meeting, the word is indulge. Allow oneself to enjoy the pleasures of. I will put this right in the chat. There you go. And I'll give you my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
So if Jean is ready, we'll get the timers roll, or I could call on someone else.
Yes, no, I'm good.
Okay.
Slightly disorganized. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and viewers at home. As a timer, my role tonight is to time certain key segments of the meeting. We do have a prepared speech this evening that is 5 to 7 minutes long. At 5 minutes, I will hold up the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll hold up the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll hold up the red card. And Bob will have up to 30 seconds to finish. For Table topics, the impromptu speaking at 1 minute. These are 1 to 2 minute speeches. At 1 minute, I'll hold up the green card. In a minute and a half, I'll hold up the yellow. And then at 2 minutes, I'll hold up the red. And you do have up to 30 seconds at that point to finish up. For evaluators, we do have a speech evaluator. That's standard 2 to 3 minutes. I'll be Bob's evaluator. That'll be me. I guess I'll need someone to possibly time me at that point. Green is at 2, yellow is 2.5, and red is at 3. And then we'll also have table topics evaluator. Who is that tonight?
Is that Art?
Art, is that you?
Alex.
I thought I was.
Right? No.
Table topics evaluator. Table topics evaluator is Art Atkinson.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Got it.
And we will determine the time for that. It's usually 2 to 3. It could be 3 to 4. And I'll hold up the cards for that. And I'll give a report at the end of the meeting.
Thank you for that lovely description of the time and role. Now we will hear from the general evaluator to introduce his role. Dan, please.
Actually, my job will be to evaluate the evaluators, and you'll hear from me later.
Okay, so we don't introduce general evaluator. I see it here.
Not exactly.
Oh,
You
okay.
just say Dan's our general evaluator. We'll hear from him later.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's how
I'll
you
have
do
to
it.
make a
Same with the
mental
joke master. Same with the joke master.
note. Okay. Well, we'll hear from me later with about a minute of jokes. And now is time for the prepared speech, right? Or do we hear from you now, Jean, as the objective reader? I'm just looking at the agenda to
Right,
remember what comes next, because
right.
somehow.
So we always have the evaluator
Mhm.
for the speaker go over for the audience the objectives
Okay.
for the speech. And then we hand that back to the Toastmaster after I've given the objectives, and the Toastmaster actually gives the introduction. That's the
Okay.
sequence. Yeah.
So after the roles, explanation of roles, I would introduce the evaluator for the speaker, right?
Mhm.
That's right. Okay.
And then they'll hand back to you for the introduction, and then take it away, Bob.
Okay. I got that part. All right. I have his introduction. Okay, Jean, if you want to read the objectives.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. It's my honor tonight to evaluate Bob Fogel. His project is called Connect with Storytelling. This is a level 3 elective, and he's chosen this one. The purpose of the project is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. He can use any type of story that he wants. It can be personal, it could be a well-known fiction, or it could be one of his creation. It's completely up to him. So I'm listening for a well-organized speech that either is a story or includes a story. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Okay, and now I will introduce Bob. Bob has been in Toastmasters for over a year now, and he's the club secretary for our Golden Speakers Club. He runs a successful business in the field of basement repair, keeping everyone dry and servicing customers in Southeast Iowa. He has 3 children and 3 grandchildren, and he enjoys hiking, boating, and riding his motorcycle. And I also know he enjoys morel hunting. So now we'll have Bob give his speech. Bob.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and viewers at home. It was a long, hot summer day at work, and all I wanted to do was just crawl in my truck and cool off. I hop in my truck, reach down between my legs, ease my seat back, got that air conditioned just to blast in. And then all of a sudden the DJ says, the 8th caller on Rock 108 will qualify to win a 2008 Harley Davidson motorcycle. Well, I perked right up, started fumbling for my phone. Oh, yeah, dialing. Dial in. Dang, it's busy. Well, hit the thing again. Dang, it's busy again. Well, I wasn't gonna give up that easy. I hit the 3rd time and it started ringing, and it rang, and it rang. I bet you it rang 10 times. I was finally just ready to hit the end button when the DJ came on and said, "You're my 8th caller. You just qualified to win this 2008 Harley Davidson motorcycle." Woohoo! My crew and my son were in the other truck, and they heard this all play out on the radio. So naturally they called me, "Hey, yeah, go Dad, go Bob, yeah, rah, rah, rah." I said, that was kind of fun. They were surprised, but let me tell you, frankly, I was pleasantly surprised. I said to myself, right then and there, I am going to win this motorcycle. And you see, I had had some teaching or some studying a while back. And this information, this study that I had learned is available to each and every one of you. It's a universal Mother Nature law for all of us. One teaching I learned was knock and the door will be open. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. And the other principle was that the words of our lips produce either life or death. Mind you, winning a motorcycle is not a life or death situation, okay? I realize that, but the principle is the exact same. It parallels the same. The words work how they work. I took it upon myself to write a 3x5 card, and it simply stated in present tense, I, Bob, have won this Harley Davidson. I put this on my dashboard of my truck. I also put one on my mirror at my house. And I kept one in my pocket just for safekeeping so I could keep remembering to tell myself I've won this motorcycle. Interestingly enough, when I started to share with other people, they would laugh at me or make fun of me, all my family, all my friends and things like that. But my guys knew, because whenever I come to work, I always say, you need to come watch Bob win this motorcycle. And it was 30 days away. So they knew exactly what was going on. It was kind of funny. Another thing I found out with people in general was that more people than not said, and I couldn't believe what they said, I never win, or I always lose, or no one, or it's just a gimmick. The DJ's brother-in-law will probably make it and no one else will get it. But I stayed true to the teaching that I had, and I wasn't going to give up. What was interesting about that teaching is when I heard it, when I said, knock on that door, ask and I'll receive, seek and I shall find, I knew my words had power. And that's why I kept watering those seeds that had been planted inside of me. It had been 30 days and the contest was here today. And I had to go up there with other 150 other contestants who had also qualified. When we got to the place up there for the drawing, there was a box. And in this box, there was paper envelopes. And in the envelopes, there was a paper license plate. And we randomly pulled them out. You didn't know what you were grabbing. Up on stage with the Miller Lite girls was a great big license plate. And all the numerals and letters were all covered. The thing of it is that license plate that you had, or I had in my hands, had to match that license plate up there.
Mhm.
And they peeled them off one at a time. This went on until they got to the last numeral. This took about a half hour because they were drinking and dancing and whatever they're doing between there, having a good old time. They ended up, I should stop right there. My son, his future wife, and my cousin came with me. They did believe. And on the night that I went up there, I text everyone in my contacts list, all my friends and family, come watch Bob win this motorcycle. I was dating a little blonde at the time, and she promptly texts back, "Oh, Bob, you ain't gonna win nothing. Okay, just hang out with me and we'll have some fun." And it was so tempting, but I'm glad I stayed the course. When we were down there, there were 3 contestants, including myself. There was my crew, came with me, this chick beside me, and this other dude over here. When they peeled that letter off, I won! I won! I won! Oh, that excitement. That chick, she fainted on the ground, I guess, because she didn't win. It was the craziest thing ever. I kind of became an instant celebrity because I was on the radio, I was up on stage. It was so awesome. They handed me my key to my motorcycle. Oh, it was the most awesomest feeling that I'd ever had. And I thought, you know, I don't believe Mother Nature is one big slot machine. All right. And I don't believe that you can name it and claim it, or you can blab it and grab it. That's not what happened here. What had happened here is I had planted those seeds inside of me. And when the opportunity arose on that hot summer day and that DJ was coming, all I needed to do, and all anyone needs to do, is to water the words, water those seeds inside of you, and they will grow to whatever that you want. I will leave you with this question. What seeds do you possess that need watered by your own words?
Heck of a speech, Bob. Good job.
Yeah, hot dog.
And
Okay.
now we will give 2 minutes to evaluate. Is that right?
Mhm.
And I think while that's going on, we can move on to
Oh.
table.
No,
Is it?
we want to be quiet for those two minutes so everybody
Okay.
can really think.
Oh, and then we send our comments to him,
Vote,
right?
yeah, sending the comments to Bob.
Oh, that's right.
That's what we do now. Mhm.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry,
Okay.
multiple things happening here. Okay.
I'm a little fuzzy today, guys. I'm sorry. I took an allergy medicine and I'm a little bit, you can probably tell.
Yeah.
I forget.
So just check with the timer to see, because now we want to see if our speaker qualified. So you would
Okay,
ask me to see, if the speaker qualified.
okay, Jean, did the speaker qualify?
Yes, he did. So, yay. Yay. Okay.
And then,
I'll just throw in if I might. Technically, at
Okay.
this point, we move on to the speech evaluator. But what we often do is give the evaluator some more time by moving on to the table topics.
okay,
So if that's what Jean wants to do, then you could introduce the topics master.
is that what you prefer, Jean? Do you have a little more time?
I actually, which it is normally what I like to do, but I feel like I've pretty much got it. So we could go ahead and do it now if you
All
want.
right. Well, great. We'll hear your evaluation for Bob's speech then.
Okay. Okay, great.
Gina, I will time you and I will call out green, yellow, red.
Okay. All right, great. Fellow Toastmasters, viewers at home, and particularly Bob, I'm just going to indulge myself on letting Bob know what a great job he did. Of course, there's always a little something we can bring, but woof, was that great. The general comments I would make, so he was telling a full story. He wasn't telling a story within another speech. So that was the direction he took, and that was fine according to the project. What he excelled at, I was writing like a fiend here. First, he had gestures. He had getting the seat back. I'm going to give some examples just to show where he met gestures. He was dialing on his phone and dialing again. He did a woo-hoo when it was the 8th caller. That was also vocal variety. So he was getting vocal variety in there as well. He talked about parallel. He had words have power. He did I won. I mean, yeah. And he also had the key. He had all kinds of ways that he introduced gestures to enhance his speech. Really well done. Again, the vocal variety, he got his kids in there. Go, Dad, yay. So that was a different vocal tone than Bob. So we definitely knew that was not Bob, that was someone else. He also gave specifics. So he didn't just say, I wrote up some cards and to encourage, he said, this is what I wrote on the cards. Here is where I put them in my truck and on the mirror. So I was getting a very good picture. I don't know why I'm echoing here. A very good picture on what he was doing and where things were going. And the take home, water the seeds of what you say, and then what seeds do you want to water? Those kinds of things is power of language. My suggestions would be work on the eye contact, really nail the camera so that you're really focusing in. And the challenge himself, I'd more tightly connect the knock, ask, see theme that was what you started at to this idea that was introduced fairly late, which was about watering the seeds. So that was a new visual image, and it was relevant for what he had explained, but I just would like to see him really knit that idea into, because it was a new idea and it came late, into his overall theme of the knock, ask, seek, which I think, because the title was Knock Knock, was the main piece. Okay, so that was my suggestion. Great job, Bob, and I expect to see you come rolling up on a motorcycle at some point at one of our meetings at some point. Yay.
Will do.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jean.
Mm-hmm.
To be continued with a view of Bob on a motorcycle.
He's got a picture of himself on a motor. Yeah, okay.
Oh, shoot. Well, you got to bring it out at the end of this meeting. So I think now it's time to move on to our table topics for this evening. Alex, if you want to take it away from here.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. I prepared 6 questions for our table topics, and the theme is summer food favorites. So who wants to go first?
We'll give it a shot.
Yes. Which question would you like from 1 to 6?
5.
5. When you think about summertime, what are the top 3 foods that come to your mind? and why?
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters, viewers at home. My favorite summer food probably won't come to any surprise to people that have had picnics in parks and in the US at least. I love watermelon so much. And there's at least one picture of me and a cousin with our face smashed into watermelons. I think we were like 5 or so. And it's like seared into my memory. I'm a little 5-year-old and my face is down in the watermelon and there's like seeds on my cheek and liquid, because watermelon's very watery, which makes it a great summer food. The second, I would have to say chicken, fried chicken or grilled chicken, because it's one of those barbecue foods. And if I'm having to pick 3 summer foods, and this is not something I think about very often, I would have to go with those traditional picnic foods. So we have watermelon, chicken now, and the third randomly came to my mind, and I'm just going to go with it. Deviled eggs.
Yes.
I'm not even that fond of them, but it's something that came into my mind, and you just got to go with the way your mind moves sometimes. So yes, deviled eggs, fried chicken, and watermelon. Those are my 3 favorites. So back to you.
Great answer. Would like to go next? Art. You have question 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
2.
2. What is traditional summer food for you and why?
Madam Topics Master, traditional food for me when I'm paying any attention to being nourished is salad. Big salads, green salads with plenty of red bell pepper, gold bell pepper, carrots, lots of variety in there, and no iceberg lettuce at all. Lots of romaine, other green lettuces. But you ask what's traditional food for me. I'm not always paying attention to my nutrition, and it's got to be ice cream. Although it doesn't necessarily, I just discovered this week a cashew milk based, incredibly good vanilla ice cream. I wouldn't even know it wasn't based on milk if I hadn't read the label. But I started out early with an ice cream preference. When I was in Scouts in about 10th grade, one summer at the end of camp, I and the other camp counselors had the duty to finish off the food that was left in the freezers. And what was left that hadn't been eaten up was a bunch of bacon and many gallon containers of vanilla ice cream. And we ate amazing quantities of both of those. And I specialized in the vanilla ice cream part.
Mm.
The other guys mixed the two, and I don't know how they managed to
Oh.
survive it. Back to you, man.
Thanks, Art. Would like to go next? Jean. All right, we have questions 1, 3, 4, and 6.
3.
Okay. What is your favorite fruit in a hot summer day and why?
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and viewers at home. My name is Jean Symington Craig, and I am a Bing cherry addict. I can think of nothing more delightful than buying a pound, at least, it has to be at least a pound of Bing cherries. Go wash them out if you can wait, but go wash them, have them back in the bag or in a bowl, and just eat them, suck on them. There's a tactile taste to them where you can suck on that cherry and then all of a sudden it explodes with that, all of that juice in your mouth, and then it's chaotic in there for a little while. Then all of a sudden a pit just emerges and you get to gnaw around that pit and get the last bit of cherry on there, and then very satisfyingly spit out the pit and go for the next one. And they come in the summertime. That's when they happen. I remember I had a conversation with my father at one point when he realized how much I loved Bing cherries, and he was saying, oh, you're eating way too many Bing cherries. You need to do something else. You need to do something else. It's almost like it's wasteful to eat that many. And I said, Dad, just look at it. You go and you buy a bag of chips or you have a hamburger. I mean, there are things that are way more, I don't know, heavy or not as good for you. I'm just eating cherries. What could be wrong with that? It's not like I'm eating up an expensive thing. It's just cherries work and they're very satisfying. I would say, although I love a lot of different summer fruits, I'm going to put, since I was asked for one, I'm going to put Bing cherries up there at the top of the list. I like them more room temperature, by the way, not icy cold, because I don't think you get the full flavor. So I highly recommend room temperature. Let your cherries breathe a little bit so that they get nice and robust, and then just have at it. And no guilt, because they're gone until the next year. So, you know, feast now and hold your peace. I think I was timing myself and I didn't time myself.
I thought about that too.
I was going to time myself and then I forgot to time myself because I was looking, okay, so who was timing me? Okay, I think I was good. Don't we think, do we think I was good? Okay, so I'm just gonna put good here. All right.
Do you have time for more questions? 8:24,
2 more, I think.
2 more? Okay. And that's what I have. I have 2 more. Who would like to go next? Veda, you have question 3 or 6?
6.
Okay. Could you share with us a memory about a summer dish that you love?
Mm.
Madam Topic Master, guests, and viewers on any recording. I really don't have a specific dish. I'm not all that dish oriented specifically to summer, but I was thinking of a summer food that I really enjoyed in a long summer that I had very recently. About a year ago, starting in March of 2020, I spent 5 months in Mexico. It was an educational trip, and it was supposed to last 5 weeks. But because of the circumstances, everybody said, don't go home. It's dangerous in the United States. And it was very safe where we were. It was like a Shangri-La. And it was a very quaint little town in Mexico near the western coast. And every day we'd walk down to a store and get these scrumptious popsicles,
Mm.
which were fruit flavored popsicles. And they had every fruit under the sun, every flavor: guava, papaya, root beer, orange, lemon, lime. Just went on and on with the fruit flavors. And then there was also like a creamsicle that was like 100 pesos instead of, it was like an extra 20 pesos to get your creamsicle. Actually, no, it was like 20 pesos for the regular and 25 for the special ones. And it was just like eating fruits. And the fruits were pretty good in Mexico too. So I had a wonderful experience, and I was fairly well addicted and spent about 30% of my disposable income on popsicles while I was in Mexico. So that's my favorite food story for you, Miss Topic Master.
Very good. I have one more question.
I think I'm
All
left.
right. So could you share with us your favorite summer dish recipe?
Madam Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, I'm afraid I couldn't. I cook, but it's pretty basic stuff. To say that it's a recipe is more like I've got a plate, I've got 4 or 5 things on it. But in terms of recipes, no, probably won't go that far. So I'm going to segue over to the fruit category. I've gotten inspired by some of the talks that we've heard so far. For me, the greatest fruit to eat during a hot summer is a peach. And a peach is a very interesting fruit. It's one of those things that is very rarely really good. You can go into your average grocery store, buy some peaches, and they taste like cardboard. They look pretty good. They really don't have a very good texture. They're not very sweet. You basically wasted your money. But if you ever have the experience of getting a really good peach, it's just an amazing experience. There's such a strong flavor. Juicy, it's like running all over you as you eat it. Just delightfully good. When we moved into the house that we're in now, we planted some fruit trees, and one of the ones we planted was a peach called a Reliance, which is one that will grow in cold weather. And we've had some just incredible peaches. If you can pick a peach right at the point that it's falling off the stem, it's that ripe, it's just unbeatable in terms of the flavor and the delicious experience. So my recipe is to go pick a peach and enjoy.
Mm.
Well, it would seem that we're out of questions, and even though we have about 4 more minutes, I think we can move on to, let's see.
Quick question, Donna?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Did, I counted, I had 5 people times. Is there another? Did I miss somebody?
No, I don't think so.
Donna, Art, Jean, Veda, Dan. Who did I miss? Donna, Art, Jean, Veda, Dan.
That's it, isn't that?
Oh, is that it? But that's only 5, and I thought there were 6 questions.
That is right. There is one more question. I said that only
Oh,
one more, but there is one more question.
That's done.
I think it's time to check with the timer about the times.
Okay.
sorry, Alex.
I was just trying to count.
So,
We have 3
Jean,
minutes.
what?
You go ahead. You're
Oh.
doing the right thing.
Okay, so Jean, our timer, can you tell us who qualified, please?
Yes, everyone qualified this evening in the table topics. So that's Donna, Art, Jean, Veda, and Dan.
Good news.
Mhm.
Okay, and now we're gonna do a vote, if memory serves.
Right.
And we will send that vote to me, or is that Alex?
You.
Me. Okay, we will send the vote to me on who is the best table topic speaker, and I think we have about 2 minutes to do that. Veda, I just got a TT. I didn't get a name with that.
It was just before I had the message. before.
Oh, I see. Oh, they came separately. All right. So I think I got everyone. Yeah. All right. And now we will do, I'm sorry, evaluation. We'll hear the evaluation from Art. Art, would you like to give us your evaluation, please?
Sure.
Now let's just see. We have 5 people. So Art, you want to do 3 to 4? Just
Yeah, that'll
that?
be good.
Is that good?
Somebody time me.
I'm timing you.
Okay. So, Madam Topics Master, good questions. Taking them in order, Donna was the only one who went outside the fruit food group. She not only had a fruit that was a favorite, she had fried chicken and deviled eggs. She was good at mimicking the 5-year-old with his face buried in watermelon, getting watermelon juice probably down to the collarbone and seeds all over the face. She didn't have a similar pantomime for eating fried chicken, but it could have worked to pantomime that part too. And eating a deviled egg, there's certain risks when you pick up a deviled egg that could have led to a good pantomime. It's a great talk. Jean gave us one of her patented Bing Cherry promos. The thing that I liked about it was she said you can suck on the cherry, you can chew on the cherry. What goes on inside your mouth gets pretty chaotic. She made a clear emphasis on the 1 pound minimum and the lack of guilt for just consuming the whole thing. My suggestion to Jean would be to give us enough information that you could recruit further cherry lovers to the cause. Veda gave us a great talk about the Mexican popsicles and creamsicles that he discovered down the road from where he was living in the unexpectedly long trip to Mexico. He was asked what was his favorite summer dish, but he segued to talk about this favorite food, these amazing popsicles which covered the spectrum of every fruit that he knew of. I particularly liked his detail of spending 30% of his disposable income on these popsicles. I thought that was a very colorful addition. If I were to improve that talk, I would have made sure to mention if there was any passion fruit in the popsicles, because in my experience, it doesn't get any better than maracuya, passion fruit. And then Dan gave us a segue from a recipe to extolling the impossible wonderfulness of fresh peaches off of the tree when they're just dripping with juice and perfectly ripe. The only improvement I could suggest to Dan would be to allow apricots fresh off the tree to compete. That's it. I'm done.
Okay.
And now we will do the timers report for which evaluators qualified. Jean?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I do know that Art qualified, and I lost track of who was timing me when I did mine.
I was, and I sent you your time.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't get it, Art. Did somebody else get my time?
You were 3:25,
Okay.
and it was a 2 to 3 minutes, so I think you
Yeah.
qualified.
Huh. It's not here. Got lost. Okay, so both of the evaluators qualified.
Okay, so now we will vote for best evaluator. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
great. So let's have a vote, and you can send me your votes for best evaluator.
Mhm.
We have all the votes in, looks like, now. So we will move on to our reports.
You can hand them that turn over to Dan, general evaluator.
What was that, Art? It's,
It would be time to hand it over to Dan as general evaluator.
yeah.
Dan, okay. I forgot what the general evaluator does. So we will hear from Dan
Okay.
now.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. It is time for our reports. And first, I'd like to get the timer's report from Jean.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Bob's speech, 6 minutes, 52 seconds. Table topics, Donna was 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Art was 1 minute, 55 seconds. Jean was good. Veda was 2 minutes, 23 seconds. Dan was 2 minutes, 15 seconds. And then in terms of evaluators, table topics, evaluator Art was 3 minutes and 30 seconds. He did have 3 to 4, so well within. And I was 3 minutes, 25 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean. Now let's hear from Veda with the counters report.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. We did really well tonight, and I'm just sorry I didn't use the word of the day in my speech. Tonight, we had Donna as Toastmaster used prominently about 3 times. In Bob's speech, he had the shortest that I've ever heard, but I did catch it. Otherwise, he did really well. He was clean. Jean, in all of her parts, evaluator, table topics, and timer, she was clean. So excellent job, Jean. Alex had 1 in her topics, questions. David. I'm looking at this. Art was clean. I had at least 3 that I could count. And I'm looking at, do we have someone named David? I don't know. I'm like, got someone in here studying in the club. Okay, so that's my report.
Okay, thank you, Veda. The question was David clean?
Yeah, how did David do?
He was clean.
All
Okay,
right.
very good. All right, you,
Way to go,
you and
David.
David commune a little more and we'll get back to
Yeah.
you. Okay, let's hear from Alex with our grammarians report.
Thanks, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters. Today we had a great speech by Bob, and he did use beautiful sentences. He said, knock and the door will open, seek and you will find, and ask it will be given to you. He also said, watering the seed inside of you, and it will grow to be what you want. That was very nice. In the table topics, Jean said, let your cherries breathe. I thought that was very funny. And feast now and hold your peace. Veda said that he's not a dish-oriented guy, and he described his popsicles as scrumptious popsicles. That was cool. Donna said that something randomly came to her mind, and it was the deviled eggs. And sometimes they got to go with the ways that the mind moves. Thought that was funny. And then for Art, his traditional summer food, he would like to think of a salad, but it's truly ice cream. And he tried a cashew milk one that I'm dreaming of. I want to try that one now. And then his favorite recipe is peach. So he said that getting a really good peach is delightfully good. And that's what I have for the grammar report. And the only person that used the word of the day was Jean. So that's all I have. Great job, Jean.
Okay, thank you. Now it's time for our joke. Is it Donna that is our joke master tonight?
That's me.
Okay.
The jokes. Time to make you laugh, I hope. Okay, well, so my friend thinks he's smart. He told me an onion is the only food that makes you cry. So I throw a coconut in his face. Okay, number 2. I thought that was fun. What happens to a frog's car when it breaks down? Anyone?
A
It
slap.
gets towed away.
Totally.
Question. Why couldn't the leopard play hide and seek? Because he was always spotted.
Yeah.
Question and answer. Question. What starts with an E, ends with an E, and has only one letter in it?
Envelope.
There you go.
I got one.
Yep. And finally, in a Catholic school cafeteria, a nun places a note in front of a pile of apples. Only take one. God is watching. Further down the line is a pile of cookies. A little boy makes his own note. Take all you want. God is watching the apples.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Very good.
Very good.
It's my turn at this point to comment on the evaluations. First, Jean was giving the evaluation of Bob's speech. I thought the strongest part of Jean's evaluation was her enthusiasm. She pointed out with great enthusiasm how well Bob had done his speech. And she also gave good examples of the things that she praised. She talked about gestures and vocal variety, and then she gave examples, woohoo, I won, and that kind of thing. The suggestion she had, one was she asked for more eye contact, which was a good one. It's good to stare at the light instead of your faces on your screen. And then the other was a very interesting one, is to carefully connect his statements of knock, ask, and seek to the statement that's at the end about watering the seeds within, so that they blossom or come true. I thought that was very good. So my suggestion for Jean would just be on that last point. I thought it would have been even stronger if you could have given us a little bit of an example, a theoretical about how he might have phrased that transition between those two ideas. That would have been a real plus.
Good.
Next, I'm going to comment on Art's evaluations of table topics. The thing that I liked about Art's evaluation was that he appreciated and he suggested for everyone. He had something that he enjoyed, something that he highlighted that they had done well, but he also came up with at least some idea of something they could have done differently. I think the only improvement I would suggest for Art is I thought some of the do differently things were a little far-fetched.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But hey, it's the most important thing to at least suggest something different that somebody could do. If, for example, you don't say, well, when you were talking about popsicles, Veda, if you could have just danced around and spun when you were talking about the various fruits, that would have been fun. Maybe if it's not something to that extent, but at least you suggested that they do something different. Like for me, you suggested that I at least talk about give equal time to apricots, which I thought was not the strongest suggestion, but that's my evaluation of the evaluators. And it's time for me now to turn the meeting back to our Toastmaster, Donna, for the meeting awards.
Scene.
So I don't have those thingies. So maybe when I announce the person, Jean, do you have the
Boards.
banner?
I am always the keeper of the thingies.
Jean has the thingies.
I am the
So
keeper of the thingies. If you have them, great, but yeah. I got
Maybe
a
I should
stash.
custom make a thingy since I don't have a thingy. Okay. So for table topics, Dan.
Dan. Peaches. Woo.
Peaches for the win.
Pick your peaches. You oversold me, so I think the store's going to be out of peaches tomorrow.
Yeah,
Oh, our peach tree was
except they won't
fabulous.
be worth eating. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
That
I'll
was
let-
very bleak, I thought, with your speech. I was like, dang, none of the peaches? You can't get any peaches.
It's
None of them
true.
are any
It's
good?
true.
Not in a store.
An
It's
occasional organic peach is worth eating, occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think especially if they're grown locally or like on a farm or something that's organic or just like a smaller guy, or lady grower. Okay, now for the best evaluator. Jean, by a landslide.
Okay.
All right. So those are our winners.
Nope. One more.
We have one more? Table topics and evaluator? Oh,
And the best-
speaker.
Yeah.
Right, speaker, yes.
There's a landslide.
Not obvious at all. Our best speaker is Art. No kidding. Bob.
Bob, you're supposed to go, woo!
I was.
I
The
won.
best speaker is David.
David, right?
Okay.
Well, I think I hand it over now to the president.
Mhm.
President Art.
Yeah. Oh, good meeting. Good topics. Plenty of fruit discussed.
Mm.
Does anyone have any items? We are going to have an officers meeting as soon as we adjourn this one. And we're going to be brief. Anyone? Bob?
It's got something.
I have a picture.
Oh,
Oh, here it is.
run, run, run.
Okay, so here's the motorcycle. You can see it.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
And here's the license plate. Oh,
It just got smaller.
Yeah,
and it's- oh, come on, phone. Oh, crazy thing. Anyways, there's the winning license plate number.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been so exciting. Oh,
Yeah.
153 Eugene.
This is my old garage, anyways.
Mm.
And then I wore my appropriate apparel today.
Oh, look, he's got Harley's shirt on.
Hey,
All right. Any leather on the bottom? No, probably not.
Down lower. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Not necessary, I guess.
No, I don't have any leather down below. Not at this point.
Wow.
I do, but just not right at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyways, to take over the meeting there, but I thought
Yeah, no,
So-
perfect.
Well, it was by request, so thanks, Bob.
What did that
Yeah.
contest happen that you won the motorcycle? How long ago?
excuse me,
How long ago did that contest happen when you
that
won
was
the motorcycle?
2008 is when it happened. It's been a while. And other things happen, but
But it was a 2008 motorcycle, so hot off the off the assembly line, right?
right. I only had
Ah.
4 miles on it when I got it. I'll show you one at a time. They custom made it for me.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
My name on
You
it.
already own
Yeah.
the #1 unit.
Wow, nice.
Yep, that was me. So like I said, I became an instant celebrity for a brief moment. Back to you, Mr. President.
Does anyone else have a interesting piece of news to share?
I would like to just say, according to the schedule, next week is Donna. We've got a speech for you. I actually said the 12th. That's a Monday, so we will bump it to the 13th, which is the Tuesday.
Yeah.
And just let me know what your title is, if you can, over the weekend.
Who will be the evaluator?
What I do, and I'm glad you brought this up. When I do the agenda and when I'm having a speaker, the Easy Speak software will show me who has evaluated that person in the past. So in my opinion, it's good to have some rotation. So you're not always getting the same person evaluating you.
Yeah, Art was mine last time.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be Dan this time.
All right,
Okay, good.
Mr. Dan.
Mhm.
So I should send you, I should send Dan the evaluator.
the evaluation guide, the
Resource.
PDF.
Unless someone else has a point, I'll adjourn the meeting. Very good.
You adjourned. Okay. Yay.